Welcome back to another video. Today is, I don't even know what today is, November 5th, I think. That sounds right. November 5th. It is finally time for my hunting trip to Missouri. If anybody has kept up with my other channel, you'll know I had a pretty bad back injury last week. I was packing to come on this trip. I was supposed to leave Saturday, which would have been the 1st. But Friday, while I was packing, I popped some kind of muscle in my back. I think I injured it at the gym the day before that, and it put me on the ground. I'm not gonna lie. I went to a chiropractor. Luckily, I know the person. She's a good family friend, but she does wonderful work. And I was in her office an hour later on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then yesterday, Tuesday. I went all 5 days, and she's a miracle worker. She puts them sticks and needles and electric probes and whatever it is in your back. And I'm probably 85 to 90% better. It gets a little stiff while I'm driving or when I get out the car. Can't fully bend over or anything like that, but I can manage it. How about that? So I kept saying, look, when I can go pack my bags and pack the truck, that's kind of my test of when I can come up here. What's cool is that, and procrastinating actually worked out, is I didn't book anything because I didn't know exactly what day I was going to leave. I had to work Country Music Fest over the weekend on Saturday, so I kept kind of procrastinating on when I was going to book, and I didn't even know where I was going to go hunting. We're going to Missouri. That's what this trip's going to be. That's what this video is going to be. We're going to Missouri. Where am I going to hunt at right now? I still don't know, and I'm on my way up there. I have no problem with that. Some people can't handle that. That is kind of like how I'm handling it. I could go to where I normally go, which is that national refuge that I normally go to in the southeast side of Missouri. I got somebody kind of hunting kind of the central area of Missouri, and then a little bit about an hour west of that, there's another spot that I was scoping out that a friend went to last year, did very well. All this is public land, but Missouri public land, I have a friend, if I can remember, I'll show you the video or a picture of it while I'm putting this together, and I'll show you what he just killed. And as you can see, that deer is better than some of the deer I have on a private lease. So that's why people come up here and hunt Missouri. So we're on our way up here. I got the truck packed. I thought I had it mostly packed this last night so I wouldn't have to leave late. Y'all know me. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about this. Oh yeah, I forgot about this. Luckily, I kind of made a list on my phone. Even though, you know, I've gone hunting many times, many trips like this, I kept telling myself to make a checklist for my phone, and I did it. So as I'm getting ready to leave, I'm looking at the phone saying, oh yeah, I forgot this. Oh yeah, I forgot this. Oh hell, I forgot this. So I didn't get as much sleep last night as I was hoping. I was hoping to go to bed early, and that didn't work out. So I had about 3.5 hours of sleep. Woke up at 3:45 this morning, trying to leave at 4, ended up leaving a little bit after 4:30. It is 8:20 now. It felt awesome this morning. It was in the 40s, which, you know, we've been getting the 80s in Louisiana. So it felt good. That's how the weather's supposed to be like this all week. Thursday through Sunday, it's supposed to be in the 70s throughout the day, but the 40s in the morning. So we're gonna have some cool mornings at least. I don't know how long exactly I'm staying. You know, you can only shoot, I think, what, like $1 or whatever. You got 2 tags you can use. Hopefully I use them and I don't go home with tag soup. I've never killed with my bow. I'm letting y'all know that now. I've never killed with a bow. So if I see something that's somewhat shootable, he's getting shot. I'm telling y'all that right now. It might not be a trophy. I'm hoping for a trophy, but in years past, I've let decent bucks pass because I wanted something bigger that I knew was in the area. And like the old man's wise tale is, don't pass up anything on the first day that you would shoot on the last day. But we'll see. Last year when I went to Missouri, if you remember that video, it rained every day. It was 70 and 80 degrees. I hunted in the rain. I looked like a goofball out there, and it was pouring rain. But I still hunted in the rain because in Missouri, these deer move in the rain. But what I'm getting at is I worked out where one of the places I'm going to hunt. I worked out an Airbnb host. She's let me pay direct, and she has all weekend blocked off for me. But my plan is to do 2 or 3 hunts in one spot, maybe 1 or 2 hunts in another spot, maybe 1 or 2 hunts in another spot, and then finishing it off at my normal spot in Southeast Missouri, because I like hanging out with some friends I've met there over the years, like going to the restaurants and stuff like that. So I'm planning on doing that also. Plan on doing a little ham radio if I have time in between that. So it's gonna be a cool trip. So like I said, I think I'm gonna cut this into like a part 1 video, part 2 video. It depends on how the hunting goes. It depends on what kind of footage I can get, how many different places I end up hunting. I have the capability right now of hunting 5 different public areas. They're all good. They all got potential. I know people that have hunted all of them so far, almost all of them so far, and they're seeing buck sign everywhere. Prime rut was supposed to be, at least when they think they'd be doing a good amount of chasing and all that, is supposed to be today and tomorrow, according to some of the websites, according to some of the experts and stuff like that. From now through the 7th. So I'm told one of the public lands we're going to is very, very, very low pressure because it's bow hunting only. And the place in Southeast Missouri I go to, at least one of them, is bow hunting only. So we have the potential of doing some good right now with these 40, degree mornings. Hey, we hope that we can do good. So like I said, I got an early morning this morning. It is 8:30 right now, and according to the GPS, I still have a 7-hour ride ahead of me. Supposed to be getting there about 3:30ish, and my plan is, even though that is a little bit later than I was hoping for, that's not included having to stop to use the bathroom because all the coffee I drank this morning, and stopping to get something to eat. 300 miles from now, I need fuel, where I got a 467-mile trip planned. So I got to stop to get fuel. But I'm hoping I still get there about 3:30. Can hurry up and throw the clothes into the camp where I'm staying at, get dressed. 2 of the different public areas are within like 5 or 10 minutes in either direction. So I'll flip a coin. I got buddy hunting one of them this morning. They've already seen a doe and an 8-point this morning. 2 different guys hunting. They both have seen deer. Kind of leaning on going there. But there's another one that's 5 minutes in the other direction that somebody else hunted that said it was, looked very good, a lot of sign. So look, I'm excited to get out of work for a little while. I haven't had a vacation since June. So, I'm eager to get this started, and I love coming up to Missouri and doing some hunting. Enough talking, and let me go and get this road trip knocked out. If I see anything cool, I'll snap some photos or video of it. But let's go ahead and get over there, and I'll come back when we get to the spot, unload the truck or whatever, and heading out in the woods. All right, we set up. I know it's kind of late. It's about 4:30, but this is what time I got in here, checked in and everything like that. Checking out this new public area. I'm on the opposite side from where my friends are hunting at. They've already seen 2 big bucks. And walking back, I'm about 200 yards in from where I parked the truck. And I've already jumped up 2 does, so I'm not going any further. Just gonna sit right here. I got 2 different draws that come down at a point right here. A lot of acorns. You can see where they've been feeding at. And I got rubs on trees right here. I didn't want to go any further and keep looking because I jumped up them 2 does over here. So I'm just gonna sit right here for the rest of the evening. Just kind of an idea of what I'm gonna do tomorrow. Well, that ended day 1, which was basically me driving and talking too much. So I just want to thank everybody who watches these videos. Look, I'm not the world's best hunter by no means. If you've watched any of these videos following along, look, the hunting channel basically started as a spinoff of my actual crypto channel, The Grumpy Dad. And people asked about how we did stuff in Louisiana or in the South or even in America. I have 36,000 subscribers on that YouTube channel. So anybody who's coming across one of my videos for the first time says, what the hell is this goofball doing? Just remember, like, people like my regular crypto channel because of how real it is. And trust me, this hunting video
stuff outdoors channel is even more real. It's about as real as you can get. I've been to Iowa and Missouri with people who are actually filming for TV shows and stuff. And what you don't see is when they're there for the 12th or 13th day in a row because they haven't killed yet. You know, we all see the TV shows when they kill within 30 minutes and stuff and they make it look like it happened instantly, and it doesn't happen like that. Um, but I enjoy going to Missouri. I enjoy doing the hunting. I enjoy going to Mississippi, and you're gonna see the realism in this video, and I'll come back every now and talk. But for now, we're starting going into day one now. Well, day one's when I technically drove through there, so I guess technically it's day two. I don't know. My first day of really hunting all day, but let's get to it.
I don't know why I'm wasting my time in the woods when I could just drive down the street and see him. This doe must have been running for a while because she is tired. I'm trying not to exhaust her, but she's exhausted. You can tell. She can't even jump over the fence. This is all fence right here. Let me see if she can jump over right here. There she goes. So you know they're chasing. At least that's what I think. But what do I know?
So it didn't take long, and I got this 4 point that stepped out, and he was about 25 yards from me. And I'm ground hunting because I'm just too big to get into stand right now. And I know I'm getting off key here, but between health issues, between my back, I got a knee issue right now. Um, and I've gained some weight, as anybody follow my videos can tell. I've been walking 2 miles, 2.5 miles, jogging 2 miles, walking, jogging every night before this trip until I hurt my back. But I did it for almost a month. And while my weight came down, I was not comfortable getting in a climbing stand. So I ground hunted. And I had kind of a thing in front of me to kind of block everything, make sure I was kind of trying to hide into a tree or a bush or something like that, a down tree. So, and apparently it worked. I mean, you see this deer come 20, 25 yards, never saw me at any point. So we hunted that morning, saw, another doe or something like that, way further off. But then I'm like, okay, it's 10:30, getting a little hungry. It's time to come out. And there he comes. And I'm going to tell you, I'm walking out, I'm making all kinds of noise. It is very, very windy. I've already been told by the old folks who I learned from, that on windy days, I'm telling you, we had 20-mile-an-hour winds come through here, in gust, and deer ain't gonna move. Deer ain't gonna move. The wind wasn't blowing as bad when we saw the first 4 point come in, but when this deer comes in, I'm not thinking we're gonna see anything. I'm walking out. This deer looked right at me and put his nose down, and that told me we're in full rut. This deer is not concerned. This is a full mature deer. You see the size of this deer, but it's only, at least what I could tell, 6 points at the time. And I'm like, first of all, y'all got to remember this. Missouri gives us one buck tag for bow season. This is day one. Now, I have a friend who shot a deer, who just killed a deer, and this is what it looked like. And you see the deer that looks like this, and you know they got deer and more deer like this. And again, this is day one. You got one tag. Do you take it on this deer? I mean, that deer that my buddy shot was 12 points. 12 points. I didn't kill 12-point deer in Texas. So you know they got the kind of deer in this area that we're hunting. So I'll let this deer pass. But it kept ringing in my mind because I had somebody tell me this last time I hunted Missouri. Don't pass on something the first day that you would shoot on the last day. But let's keep going. And look, I want y'all to really notice how close this deer is to me. 15 to 20 yards at the most. And we just got into a staring match. And then eventually he just goes on his way. He didn't run, he didn't alert, he didn't do anything but just walk off. Now this is when you have money to burn. You put a camera right here. The parking area is about 50 yards. You can see it through the trees. Trucks are right there. So I put a camera right here, and it's got a scent wick on a tree right back there somewhere. So apparently he must have saw or know something. But now that people have been hunting back here and parking and making noise and stuff, I don't know. But I don't know if I would leave a camera on public land like that. But so we had that really nice 6-point that came in. I was just walking around, like I said, just walking around trying to find some sign and stuff, and he got within 15 yards of me. Trust me, I wanted to make him an 8 so bad, but I'm getting too picky. This is also my first day hunting, my first kind of real hunt. So I saw 2 bucks. So this is just the morning hunt. But you know what they say, don't pass on something today that you'd shoot on the last day. But I don't know if I would have took him on the last day. But with me having 2 8-points on the wall, I do want to get a bow kill, and he would have been an easy bow kill. But I'm not that desperate just yet. Let him grow to be another year old. We'll come back next year looking for him. All right, just to show you how crazy deer are. Here's a path where I just made that last cut video. Probably no more than 30 yards in that way. This opens up. You can see my truck, my buddy's truck right there. There's a clearing right here. If you can see right here, this is the road we walked in on. So I walked about 20 or 50 yards from the truck. So I walked on this road all the way up. 500 yards back there. You have a clearing here, and you have a scrape right here. And this is a scrape because you can see deer track in it from making it. And we've had a lot of wind this morning. You see all the leaves on the ground, and this is fresh. So maybe that guy's got a camera here for a reason. I don't know if they're bedding right here this close to this field or something, but you can see how bare this is open from right here. It's crazy. Crazy. So maybe there's a reason why the guy's got that camera right there. All right, so we come out the woods, day 1, technically day 2, whatever way you want to look at it. Go get a quick lunch. It was cool, didn't sweat, so I didn't go change clothes or anything like that. And then, so now I'm gonna go try. My buddy told me about a spot. Again, it's about an hour west of where we were, in by some big lake. Another public area. I saw the deer they shot last year. It was amazing, public land, and man, I had to go try it. Didn't really think about the fact and didn't really know too much about the area. He dropped me some pins on some maps, a way to go cross a creek at, where to go through this field at, this cut field, and then you get to this area and go on this ridge and stuff like that. Well, I didn't think about the fact that the government's closed, which means no fields have been cut, no lanes have been cleared, and I have to tell you, let's go through the video first. All right, it is Thursday evening, and I'm trying to spot that this guy told me. I can see why the deer would love it back here. It is so thick. I can tell you, in the last 35 years I've hunted, this was by far the worst, hardest walk. I'll show you some pictures of what the hell I was walking through for, seemed like ages. I got stickers all over me and stuff. There is some deer sign up here, but the problem is even if I kill something, I have no idea how the hell I'm gonna get out. So the only way I'm shooting something is if it's really, really stupidly big and playing by ear. But it took so long to walk back here. It took me an hour to get to where I am. And it's so thick here, hunting from the ground. It's gonna be very hard. But I also didn't want to bring my stand because I knew it was gonna be a hard walk. And would it be the first time? I'm glad I didn't bring my stand. There's no way I could have carried it back here. I would not have made it back here. But all right, let's cross our fingers and see if something gets stupid enough to come back here. 1,250 yards walking through that wall of crap. Then uphill, you can see the line of sight that I'm even with all those trees. I had to walk up this hill. This is hell. All right, we're still in the same area. You can see how this goes higher here and higher here. So we're in kind of like a draw right here. So I was hunting right up on there. But since I have no idea how I'm getting out, I know I screwed myself, but safety first. I have no idea where I'm at, where I am to a point. I mean, I got my map on my phone, but just because the phone map looks clear, it ain't clear. I had hell coming through that. So I'm trying to find me a different way out and an easier way to get in here. But they got a rub right up in here on a tree. Another rub right past it. It's an old rub on that tree. Look how fresh this is. This is a good scrape on the ground. You can see the paw prints in it. Really good. So this is kind of an old, overgrown area. So I think these deer are just crossing from here and then going into that thick stuff over there. So I'm hoping I can find an easy way out of here so I can get an easy way to come in, because I'm not going through that again. There's no way. But let me see if let me keep going. All right, so eventually I got out. It was pitch black dark. You see what time I started, and listen, I'm not trying to be lazy. Trust me. I still will say, in the 32 years that I've been hunting, 33 years I've been hunting, that by far was the worst experience, the worst walk in hunt experience I had in my life. You at one point you can see me pointing and just see the stickers and see stuff stuck in my arms. It was miserable. I'm telling you, I didn't realize how hard it was gonna be to get out. But even how hard it was to get out, I still wouldn't have went out the way I came in. I'm telling you, if I killed a deer, I have no idea. My buddy told me, who actually hunted back there, that they quartered the deer they killed and somehow got it out quartered. Um, you can't get even a deer cart back there. I actually, and I shouldn't be saying this, but to get out, I actually crossed right through some open barbed wire. There was an empty field. Nobody lived right there or anything like that. It was just an empty field, and the barbed wire was open. It was cut. So I actually crossed into the field just to walk along that as long as I could. Then eventually had to get forced back into the woods, and it was so freaking thick. And I'll never go back there again. If my buddy's shooting trophy deer, congratulations to him and all that. I don't think they realize how bad it's going to be when they go back this year, unless with the government opening up now, that stuff gets cut. But that stuff was not as high going through there as it was with me. It was just bad. So we fast forward. Then we're going to start day 3, I guess it is. And I go back to the area where we hunted the first day, but I'm going way further back. Another almost mile walk into the woods, because I just like to punish myself. Wasn't as bad because you didn't have all that high stuff you're going through. But again, look, I'm not a young buck anymore, and we took took a walk back, and we saw some deer. All right, good morning, guys. It is, I think it's Friday, about 6:30 a.m. We just had a little full point, nice full point. I think it's gonna be gorgeous next year. Got a creek that runs behind us. We got two fields right here, and they are just cruising between us. So he's back there blowing, so he's gonna scare everything away. But we got all day, so let me adjust my stand a little bit. That's the way they're gonna be cruising. Tell you what, they got some nice deer back here. Big body deer. This isn't Louisiana, that's for sure. All this is this is some pretty woods. I have to say, for public area, it's really nice. This is a public area that recently somebody had passed away, and he donated it for bow hunting only. So that's why you see so many deer this size. But from understanding people in the area, there's another public area that's a little more publicly known down, a mile or two away from this, and that's where majority of people go because they can offer a rifle hunt. So that's why it looks like this. This is Osage orange, I think it's called. They call them some other kind of apple also. I saw online, but I've never seen something like this before. To me, it looks like something from outer space, some kind of alien food, alien fruit. All right, that's where we hunted at this morning, was this corner back here. It's about 10 o'clock, so we heading out. Warmed up a lot since we got here. Yep, head on out. Gonna grab some breakfast, take a shower, change clothes, and come head back out here again for this afternoon. Tell you what, guys, y'all want to find out how out of shape you are? Come and hunt these hills in Missouri. And I know they got states with way worse. They got states with way worse hills than this. But 1,350 yards this way. Some of it was downhill, some of it was uphill, and I was dying. And I'm not even a quarter of the way back to the truck, and I'm dying. And I've been walking and jogging 2 miles every night up until last week when I hurt my back. But I'm going to have to go start doing that up and down the levee by the Mississippi River, because I live in the Mississippi River, and I might have to start doing that if I'm coming back here next year. All right, I know some people argue whether the size of a tree that gets rubbed or not indicates how big a deer is. Well, this is crazy. I can't even fit my hand around. Okay. And I gotta rub, I gotta scrape in the ground right over here somewhere. So if I can survive this, I might come back this evening. This might be my afternoon spot. Problem is, they got this property line right here, walking this fence back. I'd hate to shoot something and then jump across the fence, because that would be my luck. And another thing I've never seen before is the amount of rocks they have all over the place. This has always been woods, but we got rocks everywhere. Just taking my time walking back to the truck through the woods, seeing if I can see any more good scrapes, rubs, anything like that. Give me an idea where to go this evening. Now we're all downhill, so I can actually look around and not have my lungs screaming about to die. Isn't hunting fun? I find like these red squirrels out here are way more red here than they are in Louisiana. All right, got another fresh rub. This one still has wood shavings on the ground, even with all that wind we had yesterday and stuff. So, nice sized tree. What I'm noticing is, even though the fence line, of course, is right here, there's some really thick stuff up in there where they're probably bedding. And they got a bunch of oak trees all right here. A bunch of half-eaten acorns and stuff. They're probably coming to feed around here. So what, this site looks good. I wish I had more days to hunt it. I shouldn't have messed around going to almost committing suicide yesterday at that other management area. I should have just stayed here. I've seen deer every hunt. All right, let's keep going. Another one. This is on a bigger tree. So that last one I showed y'all was right up in here. Look how fresh that is. But again, this is the end of the lawn. And that's what I'm wondering. I still think if you look in between here, you can see how thick that is. Some thick stuff. So, tell you what, but ever since that one in the back, I haven't seen any scrapes on the ground either, though. But you can see we got an uphill climb ahead of us, but I might see what I found uphill a little bit, 40, 50 yards from this. And might come back this evening for that. Let's keep going. Everything a growing boy needs. Something different about the breakfast when you come out the woods. All right, guys, it's 2:30 on Friday. This is where we walked through earlier. See all the thick stuff right there. That big rub that we had is about 40 yards that way. And some of y'all want to know what am I using as far as a cover scent. That I had a deer yesterday come within 20 yards of me, did not smell me downwind. And this morning, about 15 yards, I'm using J&S Scents chill pills. And I met the owner of this guy in person, of this company in person. They were on TV, Dirtiest Jobs or something like that. And this guy swore by it, and I said, I'll try it out. And what it is it's actually like jelly pellets, if that's what you want to call it. And it's just from his stalls, all the doe pee, so it makes it smell like a bedding area. And it smells like success. If I can steal that line. So what I do is I put it out about no more than 5 or 10 yards around my stand, this whole area right here, just a couple pellets here and there.
And like I said, the deer did not smell me this morning. And after all that walking I did, trust me, I stunk. So I'm gonna put this out. All right, and this is our next one. This is from Jane S. Scent, Squeeze a Pea. So he used that same jelly stuff. He said he had many hunters asking for it in the jelly. So here it is. So you don't have to worry about the liquid spilling all over the place. But I'm gonna go out about 30 yards in front of me, a couple of different directions, and put this out also. All right, we didn't see this one earlier. It's another nice rub. That tree is about as round as my arm. Might not be able to see it on video. That other one is about right there, and I'm about 50 yards that way. So let's hope this stuff does its stuff. It is warm though, it's 80 degrees. But I got another buddy hunting another piece of property. He said he already saw a 130 class deer in the middle of moving, broad daylight, with his nose up in the air. Unfortunately, that's where I chose not to hunt this evening, because that's the 4 hour ride I'm taking tomorrow to hunt over there. But that's my luck. So hopefully it works out for me here. All right, so I don't know how it's gonna come out on video, but I had this netting in my truck, and since this is there's really not a place to set up a stand, I didn't want it to go too high. I just want to be able to just to kind of hide a little bit of myself, just to kind of break it up a little bit. You know, the way these deer have been lately, you might even come check it out. I don't know. So we'll see what happens. The only thing I got to worry about is if I'm wide open in the back. So knowing my luck, they'll be coming out of the behind me going into that for this evening. But what I'm hoping is that thick stuff right here. I'm hoping that they're coming out of that to come feed for this evening. I'm hoping Mr. Buck smells all that stuff I put out and comes in. We'll see.
So although you can't see it, but that is a restaurant in town. I don't know how this deer got there, if it got kidnapped, but it was a monster 8 point, monster 8 point, maybe more than that. It was dark, maybe 10 points, maybe 12 points. Monster deer, definitely at least an 8 in the parking lot of the restaurant. And we come out, he's in the parking lot, and then he runs. And I couldn't get my phone out fast enough to do a recording on it. And I'm like, this is just disgusting. Why am I sitting in the woods all day when I can just go sit in a restaurant parking lot? But monster deer, like the deer looked lost. It was just crazy. I can't get over it. But that ended that day, and we got one more morning to try out. And like I was telling you at the beginning, normally my Missouri hunt, I'm in one place for a week, 7 days, 8 days, depending on how long I want to stay, and I just hunt hard in those areas. This time I tried to split it between two, kind of three areas, and I couldn't decide when did I want to leave that first area. I was seeing deer every hunt. Why would I go to Southeast Missouri? I know I'd see deer possibly there. I had a buddy hunting there. They were seeing deer also. But then I had a buddy who looked at my video, which is the video I showed y'all. And if you look towards the tail end of that video, right when that deer changes his head, right at the last second, you notice something. He's not a 6 point. At the very least, he's a 7. And depending on how you look at the rack, he was probably an 8 point. And now I'm sick to my stomach because the old man adage hit me again. Don't pass on something the first day that you would shoot on the last day. So, I got friends waiting for me on the southeast side of Missouri. My friends who were hunting there at this location, they had left already that morning. So I'm there by myself. So I'm like, I got to wrap this up. Should I hunt the morning or should I just go to southeast Missouri? And I'm like, I want to go try to get this guy one more time. So here we go.
All right, boys and girls, it is Saturday morning. We're back in that area from the first morning when we saw that what I thought was a 6-point buck. And like I said, the old saying is don't pass on the first day what you'll cheat on the last day. Because zooming in on the video, he appears to be at least 7 points, if not 8. So we had a good drop in temperatures. It's about 43 degrees this morning. And tonight it's supposed to get in the 30s. Tomorrow in the 30s as a high with possible snow. But unfortunately, I'll be at the other place I'm going to, not this one. Hopefully we can knock out this 8-point this morning, or 7-point, whatever he is, and not have to worry about all that. So 6 o'clock in the morning, first light starting to come up. And we all settle in. I got my little netting right here, but I'll do another video when we get more light. Just want to show y'all also what we're dealing with. It is 6:10 in the morning, and yes, we got some first light coming up. But that is how bright the moon is. So, we know those deer are out overnight. I saw a bunch while I was driving in this morning. So I don't know if they've been feeding all night, but we'll see what happens. I'll tell you, there's nothing louder in the woods than 2 little bitty squirrels chasing each other.
All right, so that is the end of leg A of our hunting trip, and it's gone just about as good as last year's. I have to say though, I can't say that because I had opportunity to kill, and basically the old adage kicks my ass again that don't pass on the first day what you killed in the last day. And here we are, the last day of at least this part of the trip, and I kicked myself in the ass for not shooting that deer that I thought was a 6-point. I know he probably was a 7-point at least now to look back at the video a little bit closer. When I zoom into it and slow it down, I think it just caught me by surprise the way he came in, and he didn't care at all about me. His nose to the ground, he looked at me. I got on video him looking at me, and he just moseyed on off. He didn't alert, he didn't stomp, didn't do anything. He just was going to find him a girlfriend, and that was God giving me the opportunity, and I didn't take it. So hey, it is what it is. But I mean, I don't think it's been a while other than Texas. I can't include Texas. Texas is a whole nother animal. But other than Texas, I don't think I've ever been on a hunt before for 3 or 4 days where I've seen deer and could have possibly shot deer every single trip. Even this morning's hunt, I saw a small spike. I didn't get him on camera because he was further off in between a bunch of trees and stuff. But if I wanted to and I set up, I could have shot it if I wanted to. But it was a very small spike, probably a yearling, if not, 2 years old maybe. But it's hard to judge these deer because these deer are just built different than what I'm used to in Louisiana. So now we're headed over to where I usually go, the public land in the southeast side of Missouri. I got a buddy there who's been hunting there for 3 days now. He's been seeing deer every time. Public land also, so it's a little more popular. But if y'all have seen any of my previous Missouri videos, then y'all know what what to expect with that. And hey, I've seen deer when hunting, and I've also gone 3 or 4 days without seeing any deer. Last year we went here, it was 80 degrees every day. It rained every day, and it was miserable. I did a short video kind of on it, just kind of showing off a couple of different things, but it was not that great of a trip. But hey, now we got different weather. While it is 70, it was 43 this morning, 44 this morning, and tomorrow is supposed to be in the 30s, the highs of the 30s. 30s and 20s tomorrow and Monday. I was supposed to go home Monday with my wife and kids going to be at work and school on Tuesday. They're not going to be home. I might stretch this out till Tuesday. I haven't decided yet. It kind of matters what I see over the next 2 days. I'd like to at least kill a doe just so I get some meat in the freezer. I have no meat left in my freezer. If I see a big doe, I'd like to kill one this evening just to get it knocked out. Get it over to the butcher. There's that place I constantly show pictures of when I go there, the country meat market, and I've already talked to them. They're gonna be out. They're gonna be late tonight because they got a deer already stacked up. I've always talked to them. I stayed with them one time at their rental house, and they'll get me in and out if I kill something. So since I have them lined up already, I'd like to get something killed, at least a doe today, tomorrow. Get that knocked out. I got a doe tag and a buck tag. And that's another thing is I talked to like all my buddies and stuff that hunt with me in a big group text, and they're like, man, you should have shot that one on the first day. But the issue is I know they got bigger deer back there. My friends have killed bigger deer back there where we were hunting at. You use that one buck tag and it's over with. This whole week's over with. The total 6 days I was hunting is over with. And at the time you think it's a 6 point, they got bigger deer back there. So, that's what happens with that kind of stuff. So that's it. I can ramble on and on about this kind of stuff. I got another 2-hour drive ahead of me. We went from the southwest, kind of mid the southwest side of Missouri, all the way to the southeast side of Missouri. And you'd be surprised how much these deer change and how much the landscape changes from that. But yep, I got a 2-hour ride. I got to go stop at Academy, pick up a couple of hunting things. I'm out of laundry detergent after walking a mile in, a mile out, 2 days in a row in that 80-degree heat. My hunting clothes smell fresh. Let's just say that. So, I'm out of laundry detergent, so I'm going to pick up some of that laundry detergent. When I get into my Airbnb, I'm gonna get those washed and everything like that. So, all right, see y'all in Southeast Missouri. All right, this is where we're staying at for our segment that's out here. I got some part 2. I don't know if I'm gonna cut it in 2 parts. Not matter how long the first one is, but what it is they have these small little camps. It is these kind of, I don't know if you call them storage buildings or something. I stayed in something similar about 2 years ago down here. It's brand new. It's got a little porch if you want to sit on the porch. It's way too windy and too cold for that. And yes, excuse my mess, but they got a very comfortable recliner, very comfortable. I got my laptop, I got to keep up with everything going on, even though I'm supposed to be on vacation. Little sofa, microwave, refrigerator, TV, bed, very small bathroom, but it works. And then they got I'm gonna find out tonight, I'm gonna get my fat butt up there, if that bed is more comfortable, because this bed is hard as a rock and I couldn't sleep. So, there you go. And I'll be honest, and I'm go ahead and telling myself, I did not go hunting this morning. After all that walking I've been doing, my back's killing me. This bed was no help at all. I probably should have went hunting because I didn't get no sleep last night. But when I woke up this morning, it was drizzling. Temperature dropped to 30 something, but y'all can hear the wind. You see the wind behind me? It is windy as hell. And I just didn't feel like dealing with it. So I'm gonna see if I can make a bribe with my wife and stay an additional day. I was supposed to go home tomorrow, but kind of matters also what I see in the woods this evening. But I don't like the fact that I'm only gonna get one hunt here in Southeast Missouri this afternoon. So, we'll see. If I go in the woods and I don't see nothing at all, no sign or anything, I don't know. At some point I gotta go home. I don't have to go back to work till Wednesday, so that's good. But you can see I haven't shaved in a while. I'm a little rough, but we'll see. You can go on Facebook. They got the Missouri Rut Report, where everybody puts what they're seeing. And I got some people out here saying that they think we missed the rut. I don't know how many days in Missouri these deer chase for, because I got guys up here that have been hunting since Halloween and saying that they've been chasing that long that they think they're going to be in lockdown by now. But look at Missouri Rut Reports. People around here, even this side of Missouri, are still seeing deer chase. But It always seems my luck is I'm here a little bit later in Missouri, and bucks are always locked down. You never see bucks. I don't know, because yesterday we hunted on the other side of Missouri, and we went from seeing 2 or 3 deer each hunt to I didn't see. I saw one small spike yesterday morning. So I don't know, but I'm going to find me some breakfast, drink some coffee, and I'll probably get into the woods a little early since I didn't hunt this morning, and staying there a little bit earlier. Getting there, get some time to walk around, check out some signs since I didn't have a chance to scout it yet where I'm going. And if I see a bunch of sign, a bunch of rubs and stuff like that, then set me up a little camp right there. So let's get to it.
That's the end of my trip. I got to Southeast Missouri, made by the time I got there that evening, it was too late to go in the woods. So I made that morning hunt. Then I had to drive 3 hours. Um, the next morning, I did not go hunting. It was 20-mile-an-hour winds, 30 degrees, 17 degrees with the wind chill, with rain, um, drizzle, and I just wasn't going to deal with that. If I was in a box blind, if I had some kind of blind that was going to, shield me from the um, elements, I definitely would have went hunting. I've hunted in box blinds in 17-degree weather before the wind chill. Not wide open. I just wasn't doing it. So I made an afternoon hunt, and the area that I've always hunted in this certain place that we go to apparently had a tornado that came through it. And the walking through that was almost as bad. And I was only walking 500 yards back, but it was so many down trees. You had to go through so many down trees. You got back there was no sign at all. I was worried about my truck because there's a lot of traffic going through the roads. And right now, if you look around on Facebook, there's a lot of things going on in the Missouri forums about out of state hunters and them doing stuff to people's trucks for out of state. And I'm in my son's truck, and I'm like, man, if something happens to this truck, I'm never going to hit the end of it. And I just wasn't comfortable. But I made an afternoon hunt, met up with some guys who are from Missouri. They kind of got backwards in the woods. I had to give them a ride a good ways to the other side of the woods, and talked to them for almost an hour in the dark. And basically, they told me that tornadoes that went through there really ripped it up. Um, there was some sign on the other side of the management area, but then when we tried to go through there, the roads were closed because of the government being shut down. I guess that's what it was, and we couldn't even make it back there the next day. Um, I made a short hunt somewhere, and by that time, I'm going from the house almost a week, and my back's killing me. My knee keeps popping out of place. And I'm like, you know what? This is just God's way of saying, hey, I came visited. I killed some stress. That's what I enjoyed. I enjoy going to Missouri. Yes, I'd like to kill a deer eventually. Maybe it'll happen next year. The only time I bow hunt is when I go to Missouri, because down here in Louisiana in bow season, it's still 80 something degrees and mosquitoes are killing you. Same thing with Mississippi. Um, so hey, we got a good hunt in, some good hunting in. I saw a good deer, spent some time with some friends. Got out the office, got out of this YouTube thing, crypto thing for a couple of days. Got to sit around, watch, some westerns on TV, The Rifleman, and different things like that in my Airbnb, and relaxed. Got a cool little cabin that I stayed in the Southeast Missouri. Got to watch some TV and some football there when it was freezing cold and the wind's blowing outside. And I like that kind of stuff. So, while you didn't get to see me kill a deer in this video, you know, it was still, for me, it was still a good hunt. I know that's not what y'all came to see after wasting 45 minutes of your life watching it, but sometimes it's not about the kill. It's about, the other part of it. As far as my Mississippi lease is going, if y'all been watching those videos, I don't know what that's going to bring this year. I have 2 cameras out at 2 different stand locations, food plots, whatever, private food plots, one for mine, one for my son. I have deer every day, 2 to 3 times a deer. I gotta go every 2 weeks to replace batteries because they're killing my batteries. There's so many deer going through there. They're all does. I have one buck that's a 7-point that comes every now and then. And for our rules of our lease, he's not even a shooter yet. And that's it. Now, what I'm hoping is that by keeping them does around there, hey, come rut, which is like the middle of the summer for us at that lease, middle to late December, come rut, you hope them does are still there and the bucks come in. That's the only thing I can hope for right now. Last year, I did not see a shooter buck at this lease. I told myself I'd give myself 2 years. And if I don't see any kind of shooter while I'm hunting this year, it's time to move on to a different lease. Good group of guys there. They were willing to work with me during when I had my surgery and I was supposed to be doing work days and stuff like that. So it's a good group of guys. But you know, when you spend money on the lease and you do all this work, I've been going up there almost every 2 to 3 weeks since probably August, since I've had my surgery. I got over my surgery and I've been doing work, and y'all have seen those videos. I'm doing those videos to kind of catalog so I can remember myself also. But you know, you want to see a little bit output from it. And I don't know. We'll see what this season brings. I don't know. But hope y'all enjoyed this video. I'm sorry there was no harvesting of deer or anything like that, but it's still a way me to capture everything and add a little bit to this channel since I don't do a lot for this channel. But I appreciate the support. I appreciate the few followers I have on this channel and the 36,000 I have on my other channel and my ham channel that's even smaller than this one. But hey, even on this trip, I was able to run a little ham radio at the parks and stuff like that. So I got to do some of that too. But thank y'all for watching and see y'all in the next video.